Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 100th edition of Splitting Hairs with Max, Nicky, and Nickon.
As usual, I'm Max.
I'm Nicky.
I'm Nickon, and together
we are
Max, Nicky, and Nickon.
100
episodes. Ow, I think I hurt my leg on that last
It kind of
one.
reminds...
your leg.
My leg was kind of...
How are you using your leg?
Because I was
Wow,
positioned
100th
like this.
episode, he's 100 years old, apparently.
I am 100 years old.
When we just did together, we are, I wanted to say, Wild Stallions.
I don't get that reference.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
I never saw it.
Oh, what?
man.
Oh, my God.
It looks like a dumb. It looks like a dumb movie.
No way.
It looks like a dumb movie that I don't actually have to watch.
No, you should watch it. It's so fun.
It's so funny.
It's so funny and fun.
The most recent one is really bad, by the way, but
Okay, well.
it's really good.
All right.
I'm not just saying that because it's a nostalgic thing.
Sure.
Although
Well,
it is
yeah.
a nostalgic thing.
Of course.
We would...
It's impossible to separate the two.
We watched it constantly when we were 4 years old. Rewind it right after watching it and watch it again, and then rewind it and keep doing that.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Did you have any movies you did that
Yeah, a
with?
ton of movies. All the Disney movies and all that kind of stuff.
Sorry, can we all lean back so I don't have to lean forward? to
Lean
do the
back
shot?
and make them miss us.
Cool.
That was half-hearted.
Well, I was leaning back. That was the whole point.
So, guys,
You're going to say something? And then you're like, wait till we're recording.
I was. Well, but first we just have to say, we never said this is Splitting Hairs with Max, Nicky, and Nickon.
I think we did.
I
No, we
said
didn't.
He
the
said it's the
100th
100th episode of
Splitting Hairs with Max.
Oh, you
Nicky,
did say Splitting Hairs.
I did.
I think so.
If
Okay.
you were paying attention,
Well, I wasn't.
Anybody who's watching this sees the title
That's true.
or listening to it or
hey,
whatever.
check it out, guys.
That is true.
It's
There's
the
no
100th
need to actually say the name.
It's like
It's the 100th episode. I just want to make sure I'm in the shot by doing that. I think I am. It's the 100th episode,
Yeah.
and man, it's been a wild ride.
been a
It's
while.
been a wild ride.
You guys have done 100 episodes. I've only done I don't know how many
Maybe
of
about
these.
30?
Maybe about
30 seems about right. Yeah.
30
about
seems.
30.
I think 30
Yeah.
because
So it's pretty good.
you.
No, thank you. Thanks.
30's pretty good.
You don't have to say that.
It's not 100.
Well,
but-
I think it's like maybe 27 technically.
no. I think
I think
about
it's more than 27.
No, maybe it's 30.
I think this might be my 30th. So
30th anniversary.
that's kind of a big deal, too.
Although we're not. I guess we could do a quick search here.
But hey, guys,
Nicky can talk while I do
we've
this.
got a lot of things that we've talked about over the past year,
Yeah.
and what we've
Yep.
decided to do for this episode is instead of picking one topic, we're just doing a free for all. We're going to talk about what's on our minds, what's hitting us the hardest right now, and I think the audience will enjoy it, and I think we'll get a lot out of it too.
Hey, I think you're
Get
right.
a lot of out of it. That's
Yeah.
what you said.
That's-
we'll get a
and
lot of out of
He
it.
That's
knows
what I
that.
meant.
You don't have to call out every little mistake.
Hey, what are we here for but to split hairs and call out
Yes.
minuscule
I
mistakes?
guess so.
Minuscule mistakes.
I guess that's what the audience keeps returning for.
Yes, the
The
tens maybe.
tens is generous.
Generation.
All right, what were we? Okay.
This is why we can't
what
get
was
audience
the thing you were
members
going to
to-
say?
I would say on
I
the
will
whole
say
we get
just-
about, I would say, 60.
Yeah, no,
listens
I was
per
right.
episode.
Do Hipsters Still Exist? That was our first episode with you. Splitting Hairs reboot 73.
73. Okay,
So-
you were right.
So 28th
No,
episode.
but you know what? I did one as a guest
You did, true.
Years
That is
ago.
true, years ago. So
years ago.
29.
All right. Okay.
Maybe you did too as a guest.
No.
No. I actually remember the episode. It was right before we did our first Vintage Basement.
Uh-huh.
And because I think we were talking about it right beforehand.
Seems right.
So, guys, a lot has happened since we
Wait,
last
hold on.
recorded.
I need to mention the thing I was going to say.
Yeah, what was the
beforehand.
thing?
Okay.
I mean, this is not great fodder for podcasts, but may as well say it.
That hasn't
not great
stopped
fodder.
us.
Not great fodder for Potter.
That hasn't stopped us before.
Yeah.
Max.
So I keep doing this sometimes, is when I'm scrolling through my call history, I accidentally hit somebody's, like I accidentally call somebody on accident. And I'm trying to see, is there a way to prevent that where it doesn't go directly to making the call?
Say that again. Oh,
As I'm
oh,
scrolling
show
my
us.
iPhone,
Oh, speaking
for
of,
instance.
somebody's getting a call as we speak.
It's my older brother.
We have a caller.
We do.
You don't have your brother's number saved on your phone?
No, I do.
No, that's
it's a long story.
it's a
This
long
is
story.
This is
burner
a-
phone?
No, he doesn't have a cell phone, but it's just his Google phone.
His Google
Gotcha.
phone.
There's something
You
wrong
can
with-
add that too.
I know it just there's no point.
yeah,
I never call that number.
I added it.
It would have been our first
I have it on
caller.
my contact list.
See?
There's no point. I never call that number.
That's not true. What if he's out of town? That's the way to call
Also,
him.
you don't have to call. You don't have to call that number, but
it lets you know.
It'll show you that Brent's. But this way, at least you know which phone he's calling you from. Maybe that matters. I don't know.
Well,
if it
he's
matters.
actually-
I put it as Brent and Brent Google. That's how I
Look,
see
it's a weird thing. That's
He's always 2 steps ahead of us.
Something's wrong with his phone where
we
he's
don't
calling.
need-
He's calling from his regular phone.
And
landline.
what's that phone number for our almost 10 fans if they want to call him?
Come on, guys!
Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
undermine the fan base. I would say there's something like 60-something fans.
No, listen. It's
so-
good to be self-deprecating. That's what
Anyway-
I read in a book about how to make friends. What did we get to the thing you were going to say?
I read in a book how to make.
I think what he was.
Yeah.
gonna,
So how do you? So I'm
Oh,
scrolling
right.
through,
Yeah, yeah.
and how do I prevent from accidentally doing that?
you just be better at it.
Yeah, I think
No.
you just got to be better at it. So
I
you're
think
saying
it's
you're trying to
so-
scroll and you accidentally, rather
But it's
than
not-
like,
it's not
you
even-
need a lighter touch is what you need.
This seems
It's-
really
show.
easy.
No,
Yeah,
it's
let's-
not about that.
You need
It's-
a lighter touch.
No, you don't
like
understand.
rather than pushing down.
It's
you
not-
just-
Look, you just go like this.
No,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You're
It's
not.
really- it's-
you guys
it's
aren't-
pretty easy,
no,
actually.
No,
show
you're,
us.
you're
Can you
missing.
show us what
No,
you're
not
doing.
with my phone.
You're missing the point. It's not just about.
I don't want him
It's
touching
not
my
about
phone.
scrolling. It's
Okay.
like, look,
Watch
Okay.
him accidentally call somebody.
look.
Yeah.
Look, for instance, I'm like scrolling like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
and I stop on accident, and I accidentally hit somebody's number or something.
Well,
yeah, but just don't like. But don't.
doesn't- it's not
look.
about-
Look at this. Look at me. Look, Max.
Yeah, and then accidentally stop. Yeah. and
It's
then-
it's
It's
You know what
not.
you
It's
could
not
do?
about that. It's just the whole point is like, why am I having to learn this extra skill when they can make it so easy?
I know, but it
You're
is-
the only
it is
person I've
easy.
ever encountered
That's not
that
true.
has this problem.
I have a couple of other friends that make this same
It's
mistake
pretty
too.
easy, dude.
No, that's not true.
Okay, here,
that's not
maybe
true.
it's to do with maybe it's like if you got to stay in this column, in the non-name column. You know, you have the date for the audience
Okay,
at home.
this isn't.
You have the date column.
Is this like a
and then-
how-to
and then you have-
podcast?
and then you have the middle column, and then you have the name column.
Here's the thing.
Are you saying that it won't call if I hit there?
No, I'm saying it's. I'm saying maybe it's less sensitive if you hit there.
I don't think so, and I don't want to try right now.
I'm
but-
saying
Try,
this is
try.
not hard.
Okay,
actually.
look.
Take a leap of faith. Well, no.
See, look,
Well,
it's
see,
okay.
don't- Well, why are you hitting?
No,
why
no.
are you tapping it?
Well,
as
I
if
just
to call?
I just wanted to see what would happen if I press there.
No,
you
I
know?
get that. But like, just let's see what happens. Like when you, what's the thing that you do wrong?
Look,
Or like
well, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like going like this, and I'm like, oh crap, and then I'll accidentally touch it. Like it won't even. It's not about the scrolling. It's just more like the scrolling is fine, but it's like I stop and I'm like,
Are
oh
you
crap,
are you left-handed?
I'm right-handed actually.
And do you usually scroll with your left hand or your right hand?
Both. It doesn't matter.
And do you encounter this issue
I-
on one hand more
no,
than the other?
no. And trust me, I've had a couple.
This is a good use of our time.
This is
I have
terrible.
a couple other friends like this.
I think
I
this
just
is,
don't understand why they
this is
can't
all
make a
being edited
mechanism
out
in
of this
here.
podcast.
yeah.
They do have a thing where.
This is what the fans come for.
Well, I just don't understand. It's like this is
You
what
mean
I
the
like
tens of
about
fans?
Almost
this is
tens
what I
of
like
fans.
about flip phones is there's an actual button you press so that you.
Oh,
you're
I
sure.
see. He's still hung up on the whole
No,
flip phone
it
thing.
just doesn't make sense. And my older brother agrees with me. It's like, why have a touch thing? It just doesn't make sense to me why you can't have something on
Can
here
I
that,
just say something?
Like, okay, look, for instance,
Okay.
if I go to my contact list,
Yeah.
for instance,
Yeah.
and I press, let's just say I'm about to call my mom, for instance, and I press
Okay.
that, it'll go to an extra screen, an extra step there, so I don't
Yeah.
accidentally call.
Look, here's
I
the
get that,
thing.
I get that.
Can I just say something?
And you can at
Okay.
least have the option to be able to do that so that, like,
I get that.
for people that don't want that,
That's fair.
You know, they can have that option. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's
Okay.
just making
Fair.
my life
but
difficult.
I will say
don't
this:
like it.
while
That's
there
fair.
are,
You know
reason-
what? I that's fair.
while there are reasons to agree with you about or champion the buttons, like physical buttons, I think this is far down the list of grievances I have with touchscreens. You know,
I actually-
this is not. I don't have a big problem with the thing that you're.
That's not
complaining about.
true. Okay, for instance, right now because the clicker
Well,
on
that's
here
because
is
it's broken. Yeah.
well, it's broken. But let me say, I had to make it a touch thing,
You got
so it would work.
interesting joints. Finger
Oh, I'm
joints.
double jointed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So I can do this.
Show the
kind
audience.
of this kind of a thing.
Damn.
If you're
Show
just
the
if
audience.
you're just listening, imagine the first joint on your fingers.
Can you not do this?
Don't describe it. Just
Yeah.
tell our viewers to watch this on
If you
YouTube.
watch
Nikon, can you not do this?
No, of course I can't do that. What do you know? It's a special thing.
Is
to
it
do.
a special thing?
Yeah, if you're
It is if you're double jointed, but
I'm
also your
hideous.
fingers. But my
don't
fingers
look
don't.
away.
My fingers
Sorry, I
aren't
gotta-
straight though.
Oh wait, let's see this ring here.
Oh, these are what? These are.
Oh, you've got a. I didn't notice this.
Yeah, I got
is,
got a rock on my
Wow.
wedding ring. For
Wait,
the
let me
fans at
see.
home.
Can I see?
Is
that?
that a
It's a,
diamond?
uh,
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's a
before.
diamond. It was in a pendant. Pendant or pendant?
Pennant.
Pendant.
Wait, pendant.
Pendant.
Pendant
I think
publishing.
It's
It's like
pendant.
like a necklace thingy.
Yeah, pendant.
Oh, I'm thinking of the
That
pennant.
was from my wife's grandmother, and she wanted to get that diamond put into whatever my wedding ring would end up being, and that's
Oh,
what.
wow.
Oh, that's really
That's
nice.
nice.
Oh, how about
Yeah,
that?
so it's nice.
But anyway, I was going to say on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Still talking about this.
I will. I would prefer the clicker because sometimes I do make. I accidentally, I'm going through here and I accidentally touch something on accident. you know.
Right. Yeah.
It's the same concept.
It's
you know,
not.
it's the
That's
same
not the
thing.
same concept.
It
But okay.
is,
It's
it
a
is.
similar concept. The concept is accidentally clicking on something that you didn't intend to click on.
And I
It's
know
a similar
for-
concept. You got to give them that.
For those,
You got to admit it's a similar concept.
It's a similar concept.
Okay, thank you.
but I
It's
will
not the
say,
same
Then
concept.
that's the episode. We finally
hold
agreed
on,
on
just
something.
for you listeners that are going to comment maybe on this. Yes, I know there's an option in the settings where you can make sure that like you have to hold it down for a little bit longer in order for you to do that. However, when I'm going on the internet, I would prefer to be able to touch, and be quick about it and not have to hold it down.
course.
But with the calling part, that I just want the option to just go to another screen to make
No,
sure
I get
want
it,
to
I
call.
get it.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's just
In a just world, you would be able to set that up in your settings. Too.
But hey, we're not
Yes.
living in a just world.
no, we're
and
certainly not.
I've had a few other friends that it's happened to too.
And actually, I think
this is
I
good
think you might be right. I think
Max,
This is a good
stop trying to
transition. This is a good
Stop trying
transition.
to transition.
Okay.
You've talked way too much in this
Okay.
episode.
Well, I had to air my grievances with the iPhone.
This would be
Yeah.
a good transition to talk about. You're saying one of our other friends that has this complaint,
Who
played the lead actress
In the stage reading of my musical.
stage
She
readings of Max
actually-
music. So this is what I was
She
going to
ac-
mention in the beginning before complaining about anything. Max is we've had a lot of nice things that have happened over the past
Look at
couple
the camera,
months.
Nicky.
We've had a lot of nice things that have happened over the past couple months, and which is
is
the reason
why
why
we
we haven't done an episode in a while. And one of those things
It's been a while.
is we put on the stage readings of Max's musical, A Match Made in Hell, which we were working a lot on. And
nice.
Max, how'd it go, do you think?
I don't. That's. Well, let's not talk about
It's
that.
been
This is
a
cutting it down.
while.
Is anybody paying attention?
Yes.
Yes. So, would you ask how they went?
Yeah, the readings.
Yes, I did.
I thought they went really well. Particularly the second show, I thought went really well. And
Do you want to tell us about? Do you want to tell us about the musical or no?
sure. I mean, it's
It's called A Match Made in Hell.
it's called A Match Made in Hell, and in an effort to ameliorate his reputation, the devil.
For
plays,
those of you who don't know, ameliorate means improve.
Our audience knows words like ameliorate.
to better
Please.
in an effort to better his reputation,
Thank you. That was for me.
the devil with
Our audience is smart. I am not.
the devil, with the aid of his trusty minion, plays matchmaker for two people unlucky in love. And soon after he successfully sets them up, he develops an infatuation for the girl he just set up and schemes to take her for himself.
So
And
the
then-
devil comes out in the true devil comes out in him eventually anyway.
Well, he's much like a Greek god in that his emotions get the best of him. He's very melodramatic and emotional, which adds to the comedy, I think, of it.
And in
Nice.
And then antics ensue.
in the
Nice.
production, Max played one of the poor saps unlucky in love that he sets up,
The woman.
and
Yeah.
and I played the devil.
Nice.
Max and I both co-directed,
Excellent.
and of course Max wrote the music and lyrics and wrote the book with our older brother Brent.
How many numbers?
There are distinct numbers, or including reprises.
Whatever. Both. Give me both answers.
Okay, including
Man, I got water in my
reprises,
ear.
there's 19.
19.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay,
but
cool.
without that, I think there's like 14 or something like that.
Still nothing to sneeze at.
No,
But you don't want there to be too many songs. Actually, in fact, Max has had to cut out a couple songs.
well, I cut out. Yeah, when we put on a full production, an iteration of this, a full production 10 years ago in San Francisco, and there was a song. It was just running too long, and I was like trying to find where to cut, and I was like, well, we'll cut out one of my songs. That way I'm not cutting out anyone else's, and I'm okay with that.
That's
Especially since there was a similar sounding song that was going to come up anyway, and I was like, all right.
No,
let's cut
it was
out.
a good
It was
song
a good
to cut.
cut,
Even though the
actually.
song is good itself, sometimes you got to cut one of those songs.
You got to
that
kill
like.
your darlings.
Yeah, or save them for another thing.
Oh, there you go.
Or save
Yeah.
it for another thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Death is
anyway,
not
so
the end.
those went well, and hopefully we'll put on a full production next year. Hopefully,
That's exciting.
Well,
yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say knock on wood, but did you know that knock on wood is a preventative thing, actually? Is what you
You
want to knock on wood so as not for something not to happen.
any cool things have happened to you in the past couple months, Nickon?
None that I really feel like talking about.
It's just time for you to share.
I'm not into it.
You're working on some projects, he says.
Yeah, I don't feel like talking about it.
Well, you've got a musical that you're
Yeah,
working on
musical
too.
you've been working
Yes, that's true. I don't feel like talking about it, but it's true.
You haven't copyrighted it yet.
Yeah, there's that, and I don't feel like talking about it.
All right. Well, I
you
read.
can't-
What's
I-
with all
hold
the
on, but
questions, guys?
Just so you know, you can't copyright ideas, by the way. So you either tell
What are you talking about? Okay, well,
You
but
can copyright a script.
you can copyright
And
the
in
exact
fact,
script.
you should, yeah.
But
anyway,
you can't copyright an
I had
idea.
the
Right,
privilege
right,
of
right.
reading the first act of your musical,
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to reading more when you've got it ready.
Yeah, I'm already in the. You guys both gave good notes.
Both?
Didn't
Max?
you both give? I
I
feel like you
didn't.
gave. Didn't you give? I thought you did. No.
I didn't. I must admit.
This is
I
my
didn't-
way of guilting you into giving.
No,
me
I was
you
so big.
gave me very good notes.
Or it's your way of-
Max is dead to
Or
me.
it's your way of not remembering that I gave you notes, and you're like, you both gave me good notes.
No,
and
no,
you're like,
I feel like
No, I'm
because
just
like I got notes from multiple people, and I just kind of assumed I don't
No,
know because you were on the both. Same
How did my
thread.
notes compare to
I-
the other people's notes?
Everybody's very
kidding, I'm
they were
joking.
good. They're top. I don't know, top 10% percentile notes.
Oh wow! Okay, you know,
I did
pretty
not
good.
give you notes because I was steeped in like the working
Listen,
on
you
this.
don't need to
this.
explain it.
It was
I
like-
sent it out to like 20 people, and
Hey, anyway,
10
so
people gave
you're-
me
no,
notes.
No, but I
already
do
working
need to
on
explain
the-
because
Well, I'm already. It's there's a lot has to change in my approach to it. So,
interesting.
yeah, it's a work in progress.
Well, I look forward to when you've got something else to share.
Are
Yeah,
you
thanks.
have you like talked to somebody about making music for it, or is that
Not
something that you
yet.
are actually kind of interested in taking?
Well, he's
It's
been
something
writing
I'm
lyrics. obviously.
interested in doing.
no, I know you've written lyrics for it.
Yeah, it's something I'm interested in doing. I'm like teaching myself music theory and like trying to mess around and like learn some skills around that in addition to the theory part of it. And so, it's I'm not expecting it to happen overnight, and it
There is a
it'll take as
myriad-
long as it does.
There's a myriad of lessons on a thing called the internet.
I know, and sometimes, I haven't found anything that's like super good at like teaching songwriting. A lot of it is just like, you just just put your finger on a note, and like whatever comes next. It's like there's nothing like
Well, yes,
there's nothing substantive.
Yeah,
Uh,
on
that
songwriting.
gives-
It's
yeah, I don't know.
Well, you should learn the theory first before
Yeah.
where you get at least some of it. Although I think I was about to say the devil, but the Beatles, I think they started trying to write songs as they were continuing to learn more about like chords and stuff like that. So they kind of
Right.
like their songwriting progressed as their knowledge about
And
like,
honestly,
chords and stuff. Progressed,
I've found that like learning other people's tunes helps you kind of figure out why. Like,
Absolutely. That's how
like,
they did it.
That's it's exactly the you
chord
get
progression
influence.
works and
Yeah.
doesn't like
Very
there's a-
good.
Yeah, you like
As
I don't
Paul
know.
McCartney will claim, he's like, I know nothing about music theory. Yes, he does because through osmosis he
Well,
learns.
it's
he learns
intuitive.
of it.
It's intuitive. Yeah.
I mean, from doing it all
Hey,
for so long, he
guys,
learns something about it.
How
Yeah,
about
totally?
um,
They just, combination
Just
of
to move
intuition
things-
and taste, I think.
Move things along. Why don't we do a little just station business real quick, Max?
Okay. Bum-ba-dum, station business.
We have, hopefully this episode gets released before the new year. And if it does, we just want to let all our Los Angeles fans and friends know that we are performing on a New Year's Eve show at Dynasty Typewriter.
In Los Angeles,
That is
California.
December 31st.
In case you didn't know when New Year's Eve was.
And that's at 9 p.m. and it goes till,
Goes till like, I mean, I don't know the exact show, but the festivities go
till
until
1 a.m.
1 a.m. Right.
And that'll be, it's around, Little Tokyo Town or something like that in downtown LA.
Wait, Little Tokyo? No, it's in near.
Sorry, I meant Koreatown.
Koreatown.
Near Koreatown. That's what I meant.
That's a microaggression.
There's a lot of little towns in the area, actually. in
There's
that
Little
area.
Armenia, actually.
There's Little
It's not
Armenia.
far
There's
away.
also Thai Town in that area as well. But
Oh, really?
close to
Thai
there.
Town. I know there's a Thai Town.
Anyway, that'll be happening in Los Angeles. Dynasty Typewriter. Get your tickets now. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Trust me, you'll have a blast.
Trust me.
And we look forward to doing it too.
And what else, Nicky? Anything else?
As usual, before the end of the year, if you're looking to get anybody a gift or something for the holidays, you can always purchase the official Max and Nicky t-shirt. You just go to maxandnicky.com and you'll find the appropriate links on there to purchase your own Max and Nicky t-shirt.
I
And
will
if
say
you
we
really
are-
want to, get a gift, we can sign it for you.
Wow.
Which people have asked for in the past.
That's pretty
I will
sweet.
say we are limited in sizes now. We have to do some more.
What do you have?
But we will.
Only
if
extra large.
If we get more orders, we'll order more. So there you go.
But hey, check this out. Also,
No,
if
we
you
have
haven't
a
already
few,
done so, we have that we released a new EP. Our band released an EP earlier this year called "Who Do You Want to Be." Our band is called Silhouette City. Please check that out if
It's
you haven't
an
already done so.
excellent EP.
Thank you so much, Nickon.
Yeah.
You can listen to it wherever you listen to music.
I
Yeah.
listen to it in my car.
You know what I
listen to
mean,
it
though,
there.
Max.
I'm
Spotify,
just kidding.
Apple Music.
You can listen to
Jokester.
it in the
what
car.
a jokester.
What about you, Nickon? You got anything?
I got nothing. Yeah, got nothing.
If you
Although,
got
honest-
any,
yeah.
Go ahead,
I'm
go
not-
ahead.
No, I'm not allowed to. So you go ahead and talk about it.
if you've got any, if you want, or if you're still, trying to figure out what to get somebody for Christmas, and you've
Yeah,
already
still.
bought somebody a Max and Nicky t-shirt,
What
then
goes well
what goes
with
well
the
with
Max
that
and Nicky
is
t-shirt?
Onus Optics sunglasses, which are the brand of sunglasses that our co-host here, Nickon, has smartly come up with. It's a really
That's right, and only since you brought it up, I'll talk about it a little. It's a pair of sunglasses that has a magnetically attaching and detaching nose piece.
I didn't know that it was magnetically
you didn't?
attaching
Yeah.
and detaching.
Yeah, in fact, well,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it helps protect your nose from the sun.
especially if you plan on going to the Caribbean for the winter
Or
vacation.
some
Or
people
up
like
to
to
the
call
mountains.
it the Caribbean.
or to the mountains, exactly.
Yeah, if you're skiing, snowboarding.
Of course.
It'd be great for skiing and snowboarding.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hey,
Yeah. Only because you brought it up, though.
and where can you get a pair of Onus Optics?
You go to onusoptics.com and you figure it out from there.
Man, those you're gonna look real stylish in your Onus Optics sunglasses and Max and Nicky t-shirt.
As you ski down that mountain.
Georgie, you want to come up?
Okay, so hey, are we ready for a grammar corner for this 100th episode?
Oh, I'm dying to get into some grammar. I don't have anything, but
Really?
I,
Do you have something, Nicky? Wait, hold on. Grammar corner? Hit it.
Okay, no, I know.
Okay.
Grammar corner, grammar corner. Dun.
it's very nice.
Hey, something I've noticed recently, I've noticed a couple people do it. I know not a lot of people do it, but I don't understand. And this is the same thing with the, what was the thing that normal smart people...
Especially.
Yeah, that's I've been noticing a lot lately.
Yeah.
I'm like, how could you say
Especially.
that? How could you say that?
God,
I think we talked about this before.
No, we
though.
did.
No,
Yeah,
we did.
yeah,
But here's something that I've been noticing people do. Smart people,
yeah.
or at least seemingly smart.
Sure.
They've been saying library.
No.
I didn't hear. I
get
just
away.
heard it. I heard it.
No.
I don't believe
yesterday.
it.
I heard it
No.
yesterday. I heard somebody say library, and I'm like,
Library. Like
or a
Sounds
thing
like
that even
libations.
drives me also crazy is somebody that says February.
No. That hold on, Tio.
February.
Hold on.
February is excusable.
It's actually
February.
no.
Of course it is.
No, I think it's
Just
February.
as it's library.
Hold on. No,
It's-
I looked this up.
February is excusable.
It is excusable because I looked it up before. According to
February.
dictionary.com, you can say both.
No,
actually.
Max, that's like saying that people can say literally now to mean something.
No. I think that
No.
it's like
Figurative.
sherbet and sherbet. I think it's sherbet. I've known many people to say sherbet,
I can't say sherbet.
but some
Sherbet
people say
is-
sherbet.
That sounds
Sherbet.
stupid to say sherbet.
Sherbet.
It sounds like ribbit.
Sounds like it sounds like a
It's like
frog.
a frog if you're
Ribbit.
a frog, I
Sherbet.
guess.
Sherbet.
Sherbet.
Hey,
Sherbet.
But sherbet,
Hey, Mr.
some good old
Sherbet.
rainbow
Hey,
sherbet.
hey, Mr.
I don't
Frog.
like. I avoid saying it. I don't like saying sherbet either. But like that is how it's supposed to be.
do you like
pronounced.
rainbow sherbet ice cream?
Not particularly.
Really? That's
That was my
insane in the
favorite ice
Brandis
cream as a
ratio.
kid.
Yeah, when I was like 4 years old, it was my favorite. But
Oh, so
then-
it
But then I
was.
developed a palate. Yeah, but
Whoa,
no longer.
hey now,
But
them's,
you don't think it's-
fighting words.
That's right. That's right. I'm
Hey.
here to split some hairs.
There's a
Hey,
Simpsons
you want
episode.
to? Hey, you want to fight? Them's fighting words.
That's an episode of The Simpsons. Where it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Hey, you want to fight?
Is that
Them's
the
fighting words.
Tom Sawyer one or no?
No, it was. I think
Marge,
it was
Marge on the Lamb.
No,
Oh.
it wasn't. It was.
There was some
Homer,
good.
the Colonel Tom Homer.
Oh yeah.
Something like
Colonel Homer.
Colonel Homer.
Where he becomes a manager for a country artist.
Oh right. Oh yeah. that's
Larlene
classic.
Lumpkin.
Larlene.
Or Lurleen.
Lurleen. Yeah. yeah.
He goes into that bar that's more of a hick bar, and
Uh-huh.
he sees these two guys. He's like, "Hey, you want to fight? Them's fighting words."
You know who
Well, I was
Lurleen?
thinking of the Tom Sawyer one or like Huck Finn. I don't. Whatever. The two of them. It was
Right,
it was
right,
it was
right.
And there were some great lines, but like somebody was like shooting at them, and the bullets were just bouncing off of them, and they're like, "Oh man, these bullets are powerful weak." As powerful was that?
Wait, what episode is
These
this?
are powerful weak.
Yeah, they're powerful weak.
Man, these bullets are powerful weak.
It was Nelson and Bart as Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. It was like
okay.
a alternate universe. Type
Oh, okay,
thing.
gotcha.
Yeah.
They still have these communal toilets here. There's just there's so many good lines.
There's so many good
Yeah.
lines from The Simpsons. Anyway, yeah. So I
Yeah, let's-
swear to you that I heard somebody say library yesterday.
Library. You keep saying it correctly.
I'm saying library. No, that's library is correct.
No, you
I know
said
you're saying
I heard
someone say library. And it's like,
library.
okay, what's wrong with somebody saying
you're-
library?
This is one of those. You know when you hear something.
You keep saying library.
You said
I
library.
hope you edit this because you're going to hear it. You keep saying library when you're trying to say library.
is wrong.
Because you can't bring yourself to speaking incorrectly.
Okay. Somebody said
You heard library. You heard library too, right?
God, I wish we weren't doing this live. No,
Hey,
I
we're
just can't.
splitting hairs here. This is what
we're
we're
not
this is
doing it
what we
live.
came to
You
do.
guys, I heard somebody say library
Thank you.
yesterday.
See?
And I kid you not, they said that, and I thought,
It's impossible. I don't believe you.
why would you say that?
I don't believe you.
But
You don't believe his
it-
ears.
I do. It drives me.
well, yeah, I mean, give it. Okay, well.
It doesn't drive you nuts when somebody says February, though.
No, that doesn't drive me nuts.
I don't
That's-
like it.
in
I think-
fact,
I just think there's an R
probably
there.
Say February, unless I'm trying to be like I'm trying to like.
No way. You say February. Come on.
I don't say February. I don't. I say February.
No way, Jose.
It's so it's much easier to say. And
but it's. I mean, in my mind, it's wrong. 'Cause
in my
It's spelled with an R.
experience- In my experience, you two are the only human beings I've ever met who actually go to the effort of saying February.
That is
But
so
there's
insane.
No way,
that-
Jose. I don't believe that.
I think you
don't
just said
believe-
February and not February.
No, I said February.
Okay, just like
don't
I said,
believe-
just
No,
like I
you
said
can't just-
library, and you
No,
and you guys
no,
thought I
no,
said
I'm not gonna-
just like I said
Now
library.
that's
you guys
something
said
I don't
that is-
believe. Because I learned
just-
it as a kid.
I'm talking about my experience. In my experience, I don't think I know a single person who says February.
I think you're just not focusing enough on it that you would even care to notice.
I mean, we can start. Start listening.
Start listening, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my gripe. But
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But I will say,
how
though,
about Wednesday?
nobody does that. Come on now.
It should be Wednesday, but why is that? Why did it Wednesday?
Wednesday. What's the etymology of that?
I don't know. I don't know. Was it once spelled with a like N and D instead of D and S? I mean D. Sorry, instead of. Was it N and D and then
typographical error? And they were like, let's just.
Well, no, maybe there was something in the the olden times. There's certain letters that the reason that we don't pronounce specific letters anymore was just the way English evolved. But they used to pronounce certain.
So they
things,
used to pronounce it as Wednesday.
I'm just wondering if that's how that happened.
Maybe that was the day that people got married. Usually,
so you got Monday, which is in reference to the moon, I think.
Oh, that makes sense. And then Sunday is reference to the sun, obviously. Yeah.
And Tuesday, I don't know what happens.
It's in reference to the twos.
Yeah.
Saturday's the day you sit.
Yes. The day you will have sad.
Friday is like I'm fried from the week.
This is good stuff.
Thursday is you're thirsty to get done with the end of the week.
Thirsty Thursdays. All right.
This could be a bit. This is
not a bit.
Come on.
This is not good. None of this is good.
Come on. I'm fried from the week. Come on. Give that to me. You got to give that to me.
Fried from the week is gold. No, it's not. We can do better, guys.
How about the twos?
Real quick.
Okay, for the twos. That one
was good.
And
then we just ran it into the ground.
Not that this bothers me, but I always found it funny when I hear somebody say insurance instead of insurance. They'll go insurance.
Oh, insurance or finance. I don't like it when people say I'm in finance versus finance. It's irrational, but I don't like it.
I don't hear many people say that.
Wait, but sometimes Nicky will do this,
Finance.
and I'm like, Nicky, you got to say it the right way here. He'll pronounce engine. He'll get close.
Engine?
He'll say engine sometimes, and
engine.
That's too.
Have we talked about Pello? People who say
I hate when people say Pello.
We have talked
we had
about
a friend
it,
that would say
yes.
Pello. Oh,
Pello
this
or
is
Palo.
This is something I kid you not that really bothers me, and we noticed it on Thanksgiving. Our friends
Thanksgiving. How about that?
I've heard Thanksgiving.
Our friends.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving.
I think that's a little bit more of a
Thanksgiving.
like the upper crust people might do it like that. Oh, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
So our friends who are married, they both say ketchup.
Okay.
And we said, what do you mean ketchup? It's ketchup. And they're like, that's what we said. Ketchup. Like that's what we said, ketchup.
Who said that?
Peter and Aimee.
No way, Jose.
Yeah, that's like
What you
I would excuse a child for saying ketchup.
you say ketchup.
I
right?
say ketchup. Yeah.
What's up with catsup? What is that? Is that the same thing, or is it just a different?
Going back to the
Yes, you would excuse a child for saying ketchup.
Yeah.
But not an adult.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to these friends.
So you would have a problem with that too.
I would.
You would call them out on it.
Meh.
If you knew them well.
I don't think I have a big problem with it.
Depending on
to
the
be honest.
context, like I'm not going to stop a conversation to call them out on it, but no, it's not. It's incorrect. It's incorrect.
It is incorrect.
I think, as with everything, we have different thresholds for like what we're willing to.
Sure.
Yeah.
What we're willing to let.
Yeah.
Go by.
Let slide. Yeah.
Let slide. Yeah. Well, anyway,
Who
did you
says
guys have any
catsup?
other specific things for Grammar Corner?
Well, we're
I know
doing
these
some
were more.
research.
I just wanted to do a little
Our
research. here.
analyst here has got something.
Catsup is commonly used in some southern U.S. states and Mexico.
Oh.
That makes sense because Aimee is from the South.
No, but she said ketchup, which is not. It's like a combination of both, basically.
Maybe that's because she moved to
She
the
was
North.
trying
moved,
to.
yeah.
I've never seen that spelling. KETCHUP. What is that?
Wait, what are you looking at?
Ketch KET. Sorry, I forgot about the ketchup.
That's how you spell it.
No.
Yes.
That's how you spell it.
Yes.
Is it? No, it's like losing meaning.
That's how you spell it. What are you talking about?
Wait, what did I think? How did I think it was spelled?
I don't know. Sometimes you look at a word for a while and you're like, wait a
that's
minute.
not
that
the
doesn't
right
look
word.
right.
It looks crazy to me.
I
right
think.
now.
How'd you
That
think it was
word-
spelled?
That word
I
looks
can't-
crazy to me.
I'm starting to think it looks crazy to me too.
No,
but
no,
it is how you-
I concede that it is correct, but it looks right now in this moment.
Were you
for
thinking it was
whatever
spelled
reason-
KAT?
No.
Maybe
like,
you're thinking about your sister a
No,
little
again,
too
I'm
much.
telling you, like I accept that this is how it's spelled. It's like when you say a word too many times, it loses meaning. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
There's a grocery store
Ketchup.
in Southern California called Ralph's.
Oh.
And sometimes it's like when you look
Ralph's.
at a sign or a logo for something, and you're like, that's the logo? It looks so
is this?
plain.
Yeah.
You're
What,
like,
Ralph's?
that's all they could come up with?
Ralph?
Well, a lot of these brands don't update for decades.
Yeah.
You know, so like the Ralph's brand was probably like they signed off on it in the 80s, and they were like, this is going to be it for.
No, you're totally right about that. Yeah. Anyway, guys.
By the way, Ralph's is where we won tickets to.
Anyways.
Wait, anyways or anyway?
Anywise. Just to really piss Nicky off.
Like Pennywise?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Word association, baby.
By the way, Ralph's is where we won tickets to Knott's Berry Farm actually before. In like a coloring contest.
I feel like I was going to say something relating to. Yeah.
Anyways.
Whatever. Anyways.
What about
Last chance we're moving off from grammar corner here.
Toward.
Or towards.
Actually,
towards.
Max,
towards.
I looked this up.
Towards.
I looked it up.
Towards.
Oh, one's English, one's
I say towards.
One's British and one's
what I was
American.
Gonna say, we have talked about this, right? The New York Times quiz where like you answer like, hey, do you say car park or garage? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
and like based on your answers, it tells you pretty accurately what region it thinks you grew up in.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, and it did it pretty good for you.
Yeah, like regionally. Yeah. Like
For example, it'll ask you, do you say
do you say
the
hello?
101 or 101?
No, it's not that concept. It's like
The Bart or Bart.
Yeah.
the
I'm
one
just
that
kidding.
like car park versus
Who says
versus
car
garage.
park?
A lot of people say car park.
No
Who says
way
that?
he
I've
says
never
that.
met somebody who said that.
Maybe you don't travel. You're not well traveled enough. Like I
Whoa.
think.
Well, maybe spot, maybe
I
European.
said maybe. I didn't say you are. I said maybe.
European travel.
No. It's within the continent or like all of the U.S. And
No, you're right. I don't travel enough within the U.S.
Yeah, and I would say maybe most of us don't. Can you
trying to
type
look something
in
up?
You guys, come on now.
Okay, well, you keep talking.
So, by the way, guys, we are recording live from.
What do you mean recording live?
Well, usually we're over Zoom doing this. I just want to let the
we're
audience
all-
know
we're-
that we're all
we're all
together
in
in one
person.
room here
For the 100th
for
episode.
the one other episode. So I think we are done with Grammar Corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have anything else.
One is never done with Grammar Corner.
No, one is never done.
One only
Grammar
puts it
Corner is
on
done
hold
with
for a
one.
moment.
Yes, exactly. All right. So let's step out of the corner.
So let's get into the main meat of the.
Well, we thought this would be sort of a free-for-all on just different topics to talk about because it has been a while since we've met and
Sure
discussed.
has.
So the last couple episodes have been sort of devoted to talking about Taylor Swift.
They
And I just want to touch up on something because
They have.
she was just voted as she was made Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
Time. It's just Time now. They don't say Time Magazine.
Oh,
anymore.
right,
I
'cause-
just learned about this.
Wait, do they not have print anymore?
No, they do. They just don't call it Time Magazine. They call it Time. I don't know. That's just the rebrand.
Okay, well, she's Time Person of the
So
Year.
I'm just delivering the news, baby. Yes,
And,
she has been.
It's interesting because yesterday I was thinking about Taylor Swift and why she's become such a big phenomenon this year. And right at the same time I was thinking this, Nickon texted me with a podcast episode that was brought to you by Apple or something like that, right?
No, it's the New York Times Daily.
Oh, the New York Times Daily, rather. And they were talking about.
Shout out to the Daily. We can cross. Maybe they'll give us a little
You can't say it.
cross
on the-
promotion.
But
cut
they
that.
were.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were delving into enlightening their audience about why she's become such a phenomenon over the past year. Huge. And they were saying never in their lifetimes have they experienced somebody get this popular. And I would disagree.
I would gonna
I would
disagree
disagree with
in-
that. I would
Well,
say
how
that
old
Michael
Well, you don't
Jackson-
know how old they are. They're like millennials. So
We're
I know, but we're
millennials.
millennials
What are you
too.
yeah,
talking
in
about?
your lifetime, who's been bigger
Michael
than
Jackson.
Taylor
has-
Swift?
Michael Jackson has,
has
been,
been-
more popular.
Are you kidding me? For a while, I
I'd
would say
argue
the
that
three most-
Madonna might have also been this
For a
popular.
while, the
too.
three most popular things I think in the world were McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he was
go on.
huge. No, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but I think they meant see someone rise to that level of fame. I think Michael Jackson was pretty gosh darn famous before I was born.
No, you're right.
Well, he was. Well, yeah.
That's
I mean,
all. So splitting hairs here, but whatever.
Well,
Thriller.
also Madonna,
Well,
I would
Madonna,
argue as well.
though,
Yeah, also before our time.
Sort
Rose
of.
before our time.
well, before our conscious,
Before we
to
were
aware.
alive. She was.
No, but actually,
Mm,
she got really
she got-
popular. Like
right when you were born.
right,
Actually,
she,
I
no,
would
she
say.
hit her peak. I would say in the late
1990s.
'80s, early '90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that Blonde
All right.
Ambition tour was in the early '90s, and I think that was really like.
All right, so we're saying, so we're splitting hairs about just how famous she is compared to Madonna.
Anyway, the point is,
and
what I wanted to say
MJ.
is this podcast that you had sent me.
Yeah.
I listened to it, and they talked
Yeah.
about how they explained why she's become such a phenomenon, and I just didn't agree with a lot of what they said. They called her a pop songwriting savant, and I don't. Okay, I had told you on text message. I said, I still don't understand the phenomenon because she is no Beatles, she is no Michael Jackson. You said, but maybe she is. But here's the main difference.
The very statement is so loaded. It's like she's no Beatles in what regard?
I'm going to explain.
Yeah.
She's just, her music is not groundbreaking in any way. The Beatles broke new ground every album they made, and that really contributed to the whole lore of
Sure,
the
but
Beatles. And Michael Jackson also did with pop music in the
Totally.
80s.
agreed. So
Her
far
music,
we agree.
her music, I would argue, is
playing
pretty-
right into the
pretty-
same
it's-
standard
it's-
thing that we're hearing.
It's generic.
A lot,
It's generic.
well, but whatever.
Mediocre
No, whatever on
pop
the
music.
actual.
It's not
what-
break. It's not.
but
whether
you're
you-
speaking. You're
Nikki,
not,
but
okay.
you're using those
sorry,
opinionated
sorry.
terms actually.
Okay, but
Exactly.
she's
in an objective way,
she's not breaking
isn't,
any-
She isn't doing anything different from what else is out there.
right. That is what
that's
you're
more
yeah,
objective.
That is more objective.
That is,
But-
yes. and so with that, I'm thinking, well, how is she doing anything different? How
But I
how is
guess-
what she's doing?
Not to say that you need to be different
Well,
to be
that's
good.
exactly the point.
But
that
no,
is exactly the
but
point.
But that's the thing.
you
is
don't
why
need to
her?
be groundbreaking in order to be wildly popular and to resonate with a mass audience.
But that's what I'm saying is
and
why
to
her-
represent the zeitgeist of that moment, especially for
Right,
like a
but-
certain
But why
demographic. I don't know.
Why
can I
her and
interject?
not?
I don't think you need to be the greatest innovator of all time. I mean, look at Pink Floyd; they're highly innovative, but nobody would say that they're the best band of all
A
time.
lot of people do think.
A lot of people
listen,
do
yeah,
think
yeah,
that.
no,
That's
of
not a
course.
great-
And
No,
also,
no, no,
Dark
no.
Side of the Moon is one of the biggest selling
I'm not
albums of all time.
denying that. I'm just saying it's like different levels of popularity. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
but
yeah.
let me just say this.
I think they're on the
The
Guinness Book of
Taylor
World
Swift-
Records actually.
So-
For like having their album was on the top 200 charts for the longest time. of
No,
any-
he's
I mean,
right.
yes, it's-
He's
yeah.
right. But so my question is, okay, if we can pinpoint why these other artists were the most popular at their time, why her and not Beyonce or even Rihanna? You know, like. Or even Katy Perry. Why Taylor Swift? It's not.
They say it in that episode.
But they
say
talk
it's
about the
because-
lyric. I know
they make
talk-
it. They make you feel seen by all of the stuff that you go through in life.
I know.
And if it could happen to Taylor Swift and she can walk away from it and feel empowered, then gosh darn it, so can I.
I
That's
know.
the general message, and that made it make sense to me.
That yes, I. But the thing about that is, the message is there.
Have you listened to this episode?
I did not.
The message is there.
Jesus, Max.
You
What?
can have.
You gotta.
I have work I
I'm
have to
kidding.
do.
I'm kidding.
You can have a message there, but if it's hidden in what I find to be lyrics that are pretty poorly written, then what is
Poorly
it?
written in what regard?
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah,
hate.
okay, that's a terrible song. But listen,
And that's one of the most
I can't
popular
believe I'm
songs.
even like defending Taylor Swift right now. But I think I'm such a
No, I-
contrarian that I.
Well, I think
there's been such a backlash that now I'm pro Taylor Swift somehow.
No, I understand.
It's
Hold
just
on. I understand on two levels why I understand. I get.
But Max,
me-
let's just explain to you what the podcast that we were listening to was saying.
No, I
they were
know-
saying that throughout her career,
you can't use an artist's very worst song, which I haven't heard all of her songs, but that is the epitome of why I've never liked her. That haters gonna hate song.
No, but that's not.
I assume that's like one of her worst songs.
So they highlight certain songs in this episode, and they talk about the message behind them. I'm like, look, I agree with what you're saying about the message, But then when they actually play clips of the songs, I'm thinking, okay, but these lyrics are not very good, and actually the songs, in my opinion, sound really generic, like something you would hear.
They're not very
as
good.
you're walking through
Sure.
a grocery store.
But
you know?
I think it's the specifics of what she is willing to say in but like maybe not the most ingenious, yeah. She's not doing it in the most ingenious way, but she's doing it about a thing that the audience has not really heard before.
You're saying that she's the only one who's written lyrics about experiences that other people go through. That's not true.
No,
if you listen to even
of course not.
Well, doesn't Beyonce? Isn't she talking about her like her troubles with Jay-Z and stuff?
Kind of.
Isn't that a whole whole thing? That whole album is about that.
So yeah, that's relatable.
But also, like even if you listen to the Smiths, a lot of their lyrics are kind of depressing lyrics about people that go through things when they're
but they're not
adolescence to adulthood. You're like, if you listen to the catalog,
not a pop band. What are you confusing genres now?
I know, but I'm just saying they're saying that it's. Are you saying it's groundbreaking for that reason, or it's not groundbreaking, but it's just relatable?
I'm not saying it has to be groundbreaking. I don't know why you're obsessed with things being groundbreaking.
Because
for a mass audience of women ranging from girls ranging from 4 years old to whatever, women in their 90s.
Wait,
don't
hold
have
on.
to be groundbreaking.
Okay, but
okay, so maybe she's the first.
Again, why are we obsessed with being the first or the most original or the whatever?
Let me finish this phrase. Maybe she's the first artist to reach this stature that hasn't been groundbreaking, and that's why it's
maybe
that's why it's interesting to me. That's why I'm like, okay, but why? That's what's weird about it is she's not groundbreaking yet she's reached this height.
That's interesting. That's insightful.
Can I say? Now this is coming from somebody that really is not in the know totally about this.
Yeah.
Something about Taylor Swift that makes me feel why she's popular is because people keep questioning why she's so big. So you start to think about it more, and it gets bigger and bigger because of that. So in other words, I don't know. That just seems like it to me. I don't know. I mean, yes, she has her.
I'm sure
chart.
that's
She
part
has
of
her,
it.
She
I'm
has
sure
her
that's
demographic of people
part
that are big fans of hers for sure.
Yeah.
But you just said that she's appealing to a specific. There's. Yeah, these young. You're actually talking about women in general. Actually.
Yeah. It seems.
Whereas these other artists, I would argue, is everyone were really, or like a huge.
Yeah, that's true.
Big part of the world were just like it didn't matter what gender, what age group you were. You were just into that's what connected with you from somebody from, America to the
Middle East,
Middle East,
everywhere,
or
everywhere on the planet.
That's what's so cool.
He was the Charlie Chaplin of his time.
Who?
Michael. Oh, I thought you were talking about Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, well yeah, sure.
Just
Michael Jackson. Sure, Michael Jackson.
But
again, like I said before, he was so insanely pop. People wanted to do the moon. Like how many? Everyone knows what the moonwalk is. She
doesn't really have a moonwalk.
She doesn't have anything that's.
And she doesn't have the torpedo bra like Madonna had.
But also,
like
but I will say the Beatles. Everyone wanted to start a band because of them. Like everyone saw, look at these four guys. They're just playing their music, and that it was inspiring to want to just play a band.
Yeah, but she inspires.
No, I'm not saying. Of course, she inspires other people for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's on the same level as those other two.
I mean,
I just don't think it's.
Who knows?
But again, this is coming from somebody that doesn't.
We are all clearly very biased against her.
No, I'm not even. This is nothing to do with.
This is not.
Mickey, hold on. Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with being whether or not I like her music.
Yeah.
This is coming from somebody that hasn't felt that. Hasn't felt the power of her popularity in my sphere at least. Whereas I felt like, again, I did grow up listening to Michael Jackson and the Beatles, so of course I felt that power, but I didn't.
But here's the thing, Max.
Again, so I will contend that
when a song becomes so popular,
or I'll concede that rather is what I meant.
This is the other thing is I would argue that her songs have, while they are popular, none of them have been the most popular song like of the past like for example, that
I think they have.
that Gautier song. That's one song I can think of in the past 10 or so years that I'm like, that was so popular that you couldn't go anywhere without hearing that, right? Somebody that I used to know, or that
Same with the "Shake It Off" song. It just happens to be a terrible song.
I guess here's.
But
Well,
also-
I will argue that
You think you've listened to that song ever a single time by choice?
I actually.
What?
"Shake It Off."
I've never listened to that song by
Yeah,
choice.
okay,
Well,
so-
I did
but
listen
you've
to it
heard
once when we had that assignment.
Sure, yeah.
I
Well,
listened
can I
to it.
argue-
my point is that's been an inescapable hit
I will say
guess-
on the level
I-
of that
I
Gautier.
actually-
That Gautier song is very good.
Yeah, the Gautier song is a good song.
I will
like it.
argue this has nothing to do with your taste for Taylor Swift at all, but I don't think it's possible for an artist to be as big as they used to be because of how the music industry works now.
Yeah.
Everything's based on streams, and we have such a
That is
massive.
true.
We have so many artists to choose from now. We don't have to listen to the radio. We don't have to. We have XM radio. We can choose what we want to listen to. Actually, now
the
so
fracturing of
the fracturing
whatever.
of audiences,
culture.
yeah,
Of culture, yeah.
and the music industry started when Napster came out. That's actually kind of what killed it in a big way, actually. And I just don't think it's possible at all for an artist to be that big anymore.
And
is
that's
really
why
popular,
it
though.
is remarkable that she's doing this
So
world tour
it
that's
is-
like a
that is-
nonstop tour, and
that is
she's selling out stadiums, and people are paying $17,000 for a ticket. It's insane.
17,000?
I heard that was something they
but
said on the.
That's Now
Now
no,
that's
he's right.
insane
But
in the
it's
membranous
crazy.
region.
That's the
right
other
there.
thing is and Madonna wasn't the
That's-
best singer either, but it's not like Taylor Swift is the greatest singer out there.
Nope.
By any stretch.
You don't need to
So-
be the greatest. You don't need to be the most original. You don't need to be blah blah blah. Whatever.
Groundbreaking.
You just need to resonate with a mass audience, and she's clearly done that.
And
that's
somehow
you know.
she's done that. And
Yeah.
that's why the subject is so mind-boggling to me. That she's become this phenomenon that these other contemporaries of hers haven't. Like if you even look at somebody like Beyonce, you're like, she has such a powerful voice. You could understand that.
I think
Well, also
Beyonce
she's
is
such
less,
a great entertainer, actually.
Yeah,
too.
Beyonce's live show,
Beyonce
from
is
all accounts,
so-
is a better live show.
I think there's
I think I've never
something-
been to a Taylor Swift.
I mean, I can not knock down, but like, okay, using Beyonce as an example, I think she's so unattainably talented and like beautiful and
Whoa, Taylor Swift is beautiful, too.
magnetic
Sure.
that I think that almost goes against her relatability. Seriously.
sure.
Seriously. And like, yeah, of course Taylor Swift is beautiful, but like she's also kind of like the hottest girl next door you've ever met. Does that
Right.
makes sense?
Sure.
Whereas like Beyonce just seems like she's
unattainable.
like yeah.
She's like a goddess
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, exactly. So I think part of it is like accessibility. You feel like she's your pal.
Sure.
And she does come off as more vulnerable than even Beyonce talking about Jay-Z cheating on her. Or
No,
whatever it is.
you're right about that, Nickon, because this is something that the podcast that we had listened to does talk about. Is that she has?
Why
these
does she come
hardship-
off as more
What, Max?
vulnerable?
Can you, Max?
I think that is the content.
Max,
like
let
the
me-
content of her lyrics.
So she has these things that happen to her that cause a public falling out, and she keeps coming back from that.
Okay,
and I
well,
think
yeah.
that, and it's not her fault that these public falling is outside. A few of the times it's because of
just what the
Kanye
podcast is
West.
talking about, yeah.
The Kanye West
the Kanye
stuff.
West thing was interesting. I didn't know.
And-
I didn't know about that lyric that he had about.
I knew
saying,
all about that actually, and
Oh,
I
but the
always
recording.
Yeah.
Well, he had his
Yeah,
lyric,
I knew about
He has
that,
a
yeah.
lyric like saying
Yeah,
like,
Kanye's-
maybe I should try to bang Taylor Swift or something like that. I don't know. And this is like after they had like a nice cup of coffee together or something, and she felt betrayed by him. And I didn't know that, and like it made me feel compassionate.
Oh,
towards her.
I've felt compassion for her ever since Kanye West interrupted her speech.
I thought that was a funny moment in history, but
I
no,
never
but
liked that. I think that's
the-
really rude.
I think
of
the
him.
the cup of coffee betrayal is way worse because that's like they were making a personal connection. She
Sure.
was like attempting to.
No, that is worse.
And then he was just like gross dickhead about it. What I didn't know about either, because again I've never listened to her stuff, but like one of her, I think it was her first big single, was basically a song about. So she
Her
was
friends, right?
like she was reached out to some friends to see if they wanted to hang out, and all the friends were like, "No, sorry, I'm busy." She was like, "Do you want to go to the mall?" To each of the friends, and like, "No, sorry, I'm doing something else." Each of these friends, and then she goes to the mall with her mom, and she sees all 4 or whatever those friends hanging out at the mall.
Oh.
And so she writes a song that's very heartfelt about how, like, I don't even remember what it was.
It's
like,
very relatable.
She's like, I don't know if I'm gonna have friends at school, but like I will always remember this day that I had with you.
Sure.
So it's like very, I don't know. It's like it's vulnerable, it's relatable, and I think that is probably what makes her different than your Michael Jacksons or your Beatles or your Madonnas.
No, that is so untrue.
Vulnerable? I don't think any of them.
Are you saying the
That's not
Beatles have
true.
never been vulnerable in their music? What,
No,
are you
I'm not
crazy?
saying. I'm not. I'm saying it's a
disagree
different level of vulnerability that like is really peeling another layer. I think maybe that is her innovation. Is a different level of vulnerability.
I just don't agree with you on that.
I don't agree
think
with
other,
that, actually,
Other
but-
artists have
Other pop
big-
artists.
Other pop artists have definitely been that vulnerable and talking about things that have depressed them.
Name
in their
72.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
70.
Name one. Name like
this
name
isn't a.
that level of vulnerability.
Sure.
Who?
Sure, I
Name
think
one.
I think
Who?
Paul Simon has.
Paul Simon.
Paul Simon. Yeah.
I think. I mean,
Paul Simon for sure.
he was talking about this in more of a grander scheme of like just racism in general, but there takes a level of vulnerability to put that out there. But I think Stevie Wonder has.
Stevie Wonder has.
Sure.
Actually, Paul McCartney and John Lennon in their solo careers both have talked.
Lennon for sure.
Lennon for sure.
Lennon for sure, absolutely.
Lennon for sure. McCartney, I'm not so sure.
McCartney,
not as much.
No,
but-
McCartney. Yes, I will say in his solo career, I think in McCartney 1, actually, he was being a little bit more vulnerable.
And
actually,
George
there.
Harrison too.
And George
Harrison,
Harrison.
for
But yes, you're right. I think
sure.
Paul McCartney tends towards talking about other people more often.
Or just like on a surface level of like,
Also,
I love you.
Madonna actually has too on the Like a Prayer album. The song "Oh Father" is very vulnerable.
very vulnerable.
It's the lyrics are
But
amazing.
again,
in that
it's
song.
more. I hate
But that's
to.
like one song in a catalog versus Taylor Swift's entire identity is about like talking about every time she's been wronged and all that
Right,
kind of stuff.
but then it becomes like
Maybe
why
it's also
it
this-
should vary it up then maybe.
Maybe
no?
it's a sign of the times of how like aggrievement, honestly, maybe it's a critique of culture and where like the reasons like half of the country still likes Donald Trump is because aggrievement resonates with our culture.
Maybe you're right.
And like
You're right.
That's part of it too.
People just want to. That's a thing.
They want to wallow.
They
in,
want to
Yeah.
wallow
you
and
know,
be
in-
sad instead of be
But
happy.
but that's actually that has something to do with maybe
no, this-
social media culture too. I would
Well, no,
say.
it's not that they don't like they become happy in seeing that someone who
Other
is-
people are going through
yeah,
this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true, but at the same time, I think there are other things people express their art in different ways as more escapism too, and like try
Sure.
to create something. They
But
just
again, that
on,
doesn't
like, on-
resonate as much with this audience.
well, it does.
with
maybe
this audience, clearly it doesn't because we're talking about her and we're not talking about anybody else you're going to name.
Sure, I know, but it is that is okay. There you go. I guess we're hitting on something.
Anyway,
I guess,
yeah.
but again, like I would say though, I was reading an article about a woman was talking about she didn't understand, the whole Taylor Swift thing, and then she learned. Then she went to she was a journalist, and she went to a concert.
Maybe it was this.
And she
no.
became-
maybe it was this.
No, because that woman seemed to be a fan from the beginning. But anyway, keep going.
And then she went to a concert,
That guy
and then
was
she
so annoying.
became. She was like, by the end of the article, she said, "I don't find the music to be the greatest. I don't think her stage show is pretty good, but I am full in on Taylor Swift." Like she didn't. It was this interesting thing where she just thought there was something about her at her show that, and just the magnetic quality of her and her audience together, and how that synergetic quality, I guess. And so she was on board at that point, and she's like, she said, I might not attend the concerts with the same fervor as these other Swifties, but I'm
Yeah.
on board. And it was this interesting thing that it
Honestly,
was
yeah.
like there is a target group she is playing to, but everyone else is like saying, "Oh, I get it." You know, so in
I don't
other
think
words,
it's disingenuous though. I don't think she's like.
I'm not
I don't
saying-
think she's like playing to these people.
No,
I think
I'm
it's
not
just-
saying that. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that. I'm just saying I think the part of the reason for her popularity is she is hitting her target audience.
Yeah.
But then everyone else that views it is saying, like, questioning why this
Totally.
is so, and then they try to see what the deal is, and then they start to acknowledge, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And so that adds to the popularity somehow in questioning it, and us we're adding to the popularity too. We're talking about this on a podcast.
It's wild. It's wild.
So this is what I'm talking
This
about.
is our third. This is our third.
This is the third time talking about. This is what I'm saying. Like,
I think
it's
someone who we supposedly.
it's like
I
those
think-
100 best film lists that we're
Sure,
talking about,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
number one is like this movie that is this really long movie that we
Yeah,
don't talk about,
nobody wants
but the
to
very
watch.
fact that it's there gets us talking about it.
Yeah, and I'll
so
still
it makes
never
it more
watch it.
popular. You know,
I think we should try to watch that. Just
I do. Yeah, we should. That would be good. We should record an entire podcast while we watch it. I do think
That would
I do
probably
think
get
she's
views
a
somehow.
genuine person, and I do think she's a genuinely good person. I do get that sense.
uh-huh.
And I'm coming to realize that while yes, I truly cannot stand songs like "Shake It Off," I think my biggest gripe with her might just be her fans. Like the Swifties who are just so annoyingly like, oh my God, if you don't blah blah, like I think that's my biggest gripe with her. I'm coming to realize that it's like I
have no gripe with her at all.
Anybody who's that enthusiastic about anything just kind of annoys me in general. And when it's like done on this scale, it's just like intolerable.
It is kind of intolerable. Like
Intolerable
that, like
cruelty.
the guy, this New York Times journalist in that
Michael
podcast,
Barbaro.
He
We're
was
coming
like-
for you, Michael.
he said, I'm-
first John Mulaney, now Michael Barbaro. Keep going.
he was like, "I'm full on board, a total Swiftie." He said, and I'm like, "Shut up, dude."
Yeah, no, it's like it's annoying. It's pander. It
Yeah.
seems pandering.
It seems pandering.
even
It
though I
does.
like believe that he is, and that's annoying too.
Well,
I don't know. It's all just
it's-
annoying.
What's interesting to me is that people like this, like your NPR type of crowd, if you will. I don't know how you want to describe these kinds of people, but journalists who, in the past, you would have thought would have had some
taste.
or
Well, hey,
artistic
some
integrity.
self-respect.
Again, I don't want to. I don't want to.
I don't want to knock, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
you would not have seen people
I know what you're saying.
admit to being this in love with this kind of music in the past, but now they are.
I think
like
that's
that.
part of it too. It's if I may like try
It
to
doesn't have to be
analyze
Taylor
it. I
Swift
think it's
either. I'm
no,
just
I
talking
think
about
it's-
pop music
I
like
know,
this in
but I
general.
think part of it is like she's become this disarming force where like you're allowed to like be an idiot on the daily and be like, yeah, I'm such a Swiftie, blah blah blah. And it's like, why is that acceptable behavior? You don't do that for anything else that you have a bias towards. Like, why is it with this?
I know. yeah.
Everybody's like,
all right, God, man, we griped about that for.
Can
a
I just?
while.
I'm gonna.
we griped
I'm
about
just
that
gonna do.
so long. I don't know if I have energy for anything else.
I don't want to make
we
this
can do
another
it
episode
on-
of Taylor Swift, our
Ju-
100th
you mean
episode.
just Taylor Swift? You mean?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you wanted to?
I wanted to say, okay, hey, listen. I know your family doesn't really do this, but Christmas is coming up.
It's coming
And
up. It's undeniable.
I know we've talked about it before, Christmas songs, but
I keep
Christmas
looking at
music
that.
or holiday music?
holiday music. Is there? Do you have a favorite holiday song?
I have a least favorite holiday song.
Do you like holiday music or just?
I like it's growing on me. My wife is super like every year she does the Christmas tree and we we're not doing it this year because we're going to be in Portland, but
what?
it is a thing that has grown on me just inundating yourself with holiday songs. for
You
days
do
at a
it
time.
once a year. you
It's
know?
grown on me, is what I'm saying.
I know.
I do not like. Okay, there's two songs I really don't. I think we've talked about this. I don't like the sexy Santa song. I hate that song.
Santa Baby.
It makes me so uncomfortable.
weird. It is
It's
weird.
like Happy Birthday, Mr. President, but for Santa. And it's just like gross. I don't like it.
Hey, I bet Santa really likes it though.
I'm sure he does.
Santa Baby.
and I
The
don't-
idea is that it's. Well, yeah. Okay. Anyway,
It's the. Yeah. Anyway,
And
go on.
it
is a weird song.
I would like to hear someone else's take on the Mariah Carey song because I really don't like it, and I wonder if it's just because I don't like Mariah Carey.
Oh,
You don't like Mariah Carey?
By the way, check this out.
None of her
I don't
songs.
think
You don't
I
like
do.
any of her
I don't think I
songs.
do. Yeah. I'm sure I like a couple. What are
Hero. There's a hero And
I don't think I know that one.
It's a really good song.
It's very
It's a
famous.
really
I
good
know
sure
Enrique Iglesias' Hero, but I don't know.
No,
if
different
I'm-
song.
No,
of course.
this
You know,
is-
call me baby, or so call me baby. Oh no, that's I'm thinking of.
I hate
Whoa,
that song.
cut
Carly,
that out.
Carly, nope, you got.
I'm
you just-
thinking of a different song. I'm saying,
Here's
what's-
my number.
Ba- ba-
So
ba-
call
my
me,
baby. Ba- ba- ba-
Oh,
ba-
you will always be my baby.
Always be my baby.
That's her. I like
That's
that
her.
song.
That's
song's
a really
really
good
good.
song.
That's a really good
That's
song.
like
I
one of
like
her
that.
most famous songs.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, I like that song.
I think they played it at your.
No,
they didn't.
I do
That's
like
a
that
good
song.
song.
I like that song. I like that.
It's a
song.
catchy
What about
song.
also? There's she uses as a sample the
I don't
real
like that
the
song.
genius.
I know what you're gonna say. Genius of Love. I
Genius
hate
of
that.
Love song.
I hate that song.
You hate that
Fantasy
original
song.
original song?
It's called Fantasy.
I
but-
like the original song.
You know who it is,
Maybe
right?
I like that. Yeah, it's the Tom Tom Clubs.
Yeah, Tom Tom Club.
I know. I like
But you-
singing. I like.
Okay.
You know who the
It's
Tom
too-
Tom Club is, though, right?
Yeah.
No, but do you know who is
Comprises the
the
Tom
Tom
Tom.
Club?
I don't think I do.
It's the husband and wife, drummer and bassist of the Talking Heads.
The Talking Heads.
Tina Weymouth and
know
Chris
that, but
Franz.
it makes so much
Chris
sense
Franz.
now that you say that. It makes so much sense.
God, they made so much money off that song. Actually.
Oh my, yeah, that's been
As if
sampled
they
by
weren't-
multiple artists.
Uh-huh.
Okay, back to Mariah Carey. Maybe I don't dislike her as much as I thought, and maybe that.
But you don't
holiday
like that song.
Maybe that holiday. I've historically not liked it, but maybe that's growing on me too.
Well, here's the thing. You know what's interesting about that song is, well, I like that song first of all. But,
how does it go again?
But
Oh,
all I want for Christmas. Look, I know it's incessantly played during holidays, but my dad, who is
it's got like a good.
all I want, my dad, who
It's
is-
really like tapping in. How do we make a hit holiday song, like Christmas
Yeah.
song? And they
It seems it seems like the most commercial,
the most commercial and ready.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
my dad,
I can
who
understand
is-
why you wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
You know,
our dad, who is
86 years old.
no, who that's not what I was going to say.
Well,
who
it's
is
true.
mainly
You might
a
have. You don't know
jazz, like he mainly only listens to jazz and salsa music.
Uh-huh.
That that's pretty much what he listens to.
Yeah.
For some reason, he loves that song, that Mariah Carey's
Well,
All
he
I Want for
doesn't
Christmas.
just listen to those things, but he listens to it in general.
But
he listens to it.
isn't that wild that he does not really care for pop music starting in even he's in,
that
in the
song works
60s
for
even
him.
but that song works for him.
That's
you know?
interesting. All right, so sorry, you asked me a question. My favorite song, my favorite like jokey Christmas song is Mamacita, Donde Está Santa Claus?
Mamacita, donde está Santa
It's
Claus?
an inside joke with my buddy Scott. Scott, if you're watching or listening. But
You better be
Shout out
watching.
to Scott.
there's something so adorable and silly about that song. It's definitely not like a good song, but it's I don't know, it stands out. But then otherwise, I don't think I have a favorite one. And I will say, White Christmas is the most absurd movie I can't believe was ever made.
I've never seen it. The
It's
movie,
so
actually.
silly.
No, I have
Such
seen
a-
it, but
the plot is so silly. But it is obviously a classic.
But the song is good.
The song
Song's
is
good.
good. The song
but
is
Also,
actually
I like
we
the-
prefer the Drifters version, the one that's
good.
in
Oh,
Home
in
Alone.
Home Alone. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
We
that's
actually do a cover of that version.
right. That's that moment, right?
It is that moment.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding us about the most popular thing from Home Alone.
No,
Well,
he wasn't
stop.
saying
No,
that.
I
He was
know,
just
it's-
saying,
I
is
know,
that
I'm just
song
joking.
playing at that?
oh, Home Alone. That's the first one, right?
I know, but that's what it
Home
seemed
Alone,
like.
is
at
that the
first.
one where he goes,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's the one where it's a kid who's home alone, right?
Home Alone 6. Oh my God, we left Kevin at home and
and
he's,
he's only
25 years old.
25. And he's got like a cigarette. This is from the Critic.
Did you ever watch that show?
What are your favorite and or least favorite Christmas
Well, I
songs?
think my favorite Christmas album is the Charlie Brown Christmas album, and the songs on it are my favorite. Like Christmas Time Is Here is probably my favorite holiday song.
I mean, it's a jazz album, straight up.
Yeah, it is a jazz album.
and-
It's like
it's just.
But it's
it
done
brings
in a
me
Vince
into a
Guaraldi
mood.
way. It's very good.
I would say that
it's completely unified stylistically. Which
yes.
is, I think,
No, it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's an album.
It's an album
It is
that
an album.
Yeah, that happens to have a. It's a concept album. I think it's a concept.
It
album.
is.
Yeah.
I
It
would
is.
say the Christmas song "Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire." That's
Oh, that's nice.
and I would say "I'll Be Home for Christmas" is also up there.
How does that one go again? I mean, I know.
I'll be home
Oh,
for
yeah, that's very
Christmas.
nice.
You
They made
can
it
count-
during the war.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. What about you?
World War II, that is. I mean, he just, those are my favorites, too. But.
I also like this song called "It Must Have Been the
Oh, no.
Mistletoe."
Oh, hold on. I
That's
forgot
really
to say,
good.
Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Oh, that's really
one of my
good.
favorites.
Oh, that's one of my favorites too.
So the classics.
Yeah.
The
Oh, actually,
classics.
the song that our sister wrote maybe 10, 11 years ago
12 years ago.
called
I'm not really in the Christmas mood this year.
is really. It sounds like a classic holiday
Sounds like
song.
classic, yes.
Look it up. It's really, really good.
Very good.
Okay, all
Look
right,
it up.
all
It's
right.
Very good. They made a music video and everything.
All right, yeah,
it's
I'll check
very
it out.
good. So
And what's
yeah,
your sister's band's name again for the fans?
Foxtails
Foxtails
Brigade.
Brigade.
But yeah,
Check out her stuff.
I
Also,
really
Lauren
like holiday
Anton.
music. I can understand if maybe you work in retail and you start getting sick of it because it's probably played over and over again, the same songs.
I mean, that's the problem. There's so many songs they can't like change it up a little and like go a little deeper.
Well,
with the
they
cuts.
need to. People need to write more songs, which is something
I
that I
d-
feel like
no,
we
I-
need to do.
I don't think that's a
that is
shortage.
a perennial hit, and you. That's like if you make
know-
a classic,
you know a
if you
song
make a
that
Christmas song,
Totally, yeah,
that's like Money in the Bank right there.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know who? You know people. I've heard this recently that people get annoyed by the Paul McCartney Christmas song. You know, we're simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
I don't think I know that one.
I like
Simply
it.
having a
Wonderful
wonderful
Christmas
Christmas time,
time.
and there's like synth sounds.
That sounds very,
children sing
sounds
this.
very Christmassy. Sounds
It
like
is.
it hits
It
all the
is.
spots.
Came out in the late 70s, early 80s. I think late 70s, but it's got a lot of synth in it, which is.
That's probably what's harming it.
No, I think it's kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Cool. There's also
Look, I love holiday music though. So
well, but it is played so these Christmas songs are played so much you get
I just
so
wish
sick of it.
I wish I heard some more deep Christmas cuts more frequently than I do.
There's a John Denver one.
Oh.
Isn't there one?
Oh.
The John Denver Christmas song. It's pretty
I like
good,
the
yeah.
song by Charles Brown. Not Charlie Brown, but I think his name is Charles Brown. That goes, "So this is Christmas," you know.
Yeah, how does that go again?
So this is Christmas. Dun, dun. I can't sing
I
it.
don't think
really.
Oh, what about what is it?
the Beach Boys
The
have a
Fireside of
album,
Christmas.
right?
Fireside of Christmas.
And this Christmas
by
will
what was his
be
name? Donny Hathaway.
Donny Hathaway.
It's a
that's
really good song.
Yeah, there's lots of great ones. I like some of the more classic. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most
that's a good one.
wonderful.
Also,
Also,
you guys
that
have a
one-
playlist. You guys should make a Spotify playlist and send
No,
it
but
out
I
for the
did-
fans.
You know what? I did make a playlist of a Spotify playlist of recently. What I
Silhouette
think
City
are the
songs?
best.
What do you say?
No, I put
a playlist of just Silhouette
I
City
put
songs.
the
You
best
mean all four of them?
yeah.
the best indie
I thought it was going to be a Taylor Swift
the best
playlist.
indie
Wouldn't that be ironic?
indie
yeah.
rock indie pop songs of the past decade
Nice.
and a few extra favorites.
And it's all Foxtails Brigade.
I did put a few Silhouette City songs in there,
Nice.
and a couple Foxtails Brigade. But I put like 50 songs in there. So
Nice.
you've got Wise Blood on there, Lemon Twigs. You've got Vampire Weekend. You've got Of Montreal.
All right.
Of Montreal in the past decade?
I should and a few extra favorites.
And Teen, the band Teen, which is no
Teen.
longer a band anymore. Unfortunately, we think there's this all-girl group or all-woman group, and they were so good. It's too bad they're not
Teen.
together anymore.
You hate to see bands break up before they hit the big time.
yeah.
Because they had some really good tunes. I mean, that whole album.
Hey, maybe they'll have a comeback.
With
or a
Tokyo,
reunion.
the song Tokyo, really good song.
But
I mean, they're still
I
each
should make
working
So
in
make a
music.
playlist. Make a playlist.
a holiday playlist.
a holiday playlist.
You're right. I
did
should.
once-
That's a good idea.
when I was,
look out for
um,
the holiday playlist if this comes out before Christmas.
Oh, it will.
When I was a sophomore in
As
college,
the person who doesn't have to edit this, I'm telling you, it will.
when I was a sophomore,
I don't
in
have
co-
as much to work on the next few days. So
When I was
I'm
a-
kidding. I do it, you know.
when I was a sophomore in college, we were driving back down from the Bay Area to go down to Los Angeles for the vacation.
Yeah.
And
We got it.
taking a long time for you to get that out.
and we were driving with two other people. We were carpooling.
You were driving a car, I assume? Was it a car?
Yes, I mean I wasn't driving.
And you
But
were driving
anyway,
on
I
the
was like,
5
I'm
or
gonna
the
use-
101.
I'm gonna
A
make
motor
some,
car?
I'm gonna make some playlists of some songs to listen to on the way. I made 4 different CDs.
Oh, nice.
One of which was holiday theme song.
Nice. Well,
actually.
do you think it's still in LA in one of the boxes or something in LA?
I might have it in my laptop case
Oh.
here in New York. Actually,
Hey, let's ask this question.
Not this laptop.
Why
Yeah.
have there not really been any holiday hit songs that have come out really probably since that Mariah Carey song. Like, can you name a single perennial hit holiday song?
I mean, Michael Bublé obviously has done covers of all
Yeah,
the
of course.
ones,
The
but
standards don't count.
But
didn't she and him do one or something like that? Or am I
no,
incorrect
there's
about
nothing that's been like, oh, this is a bona fide hit that you're going to hear every year. Why is that?
Yeah. Well. First of all, maybe I don't know. I think it's just like anything else. It's not that easy to make a hit.
It's well, but
especially now.
If it were, you would have figured
But there
it
are
out
hit
by
songs
now.
every year, right?
Sure, but not all of. Okay, how many hit songs in general become perennial hit songs?
Well, that's hard to say because
That's a good
that's
question,
what makes a
Nickon.
Christmas song such a
No, not even talking about holiday.
No, I
music
know
at
what I'm
this
saying,
point,
but
right?
that's
I
what
know.
make-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying that's
like
what's-
okay, sure, like whatever the hit song 2 years ago was. Nobody's playing that or I can't like some of them do get replayed, but
I mean, what was the biggest hit song of the year? I guess people would say I wouldn't agree, but people would say the song "Cruel Summer" by Taylor Swift. I think that came out this year, right?
I don't even think I've heard that song.
I think it came out during.
That's
the summer.
how cool I am.
Oh no!
That's how in the know I am.
No, wasn't the big hit? What's her name? Hannah Montana. What's her name again?
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Didn't that song that came out? She came out with like this past year.
no
That
idea
was-
what you're
How does it go? What is it?
it's like another one of those. Speaking of music theory, like another like 251 song or something like that. Your
I
16251
guess
song.
NSYNC came out with a song this year.
They did?
Yeah, but that wasn't a hit, was it? Georgie, did you pee?
Look, let's see. Miley Cyrus.
Well, okay, but I guess the last
just
one I can
look
think
up.
of is like the Jonas Brothers
Biggest
came out with a
song of
song.
the year. Didn't Kylie Minogue? I mean, I don't know. It's like the fracturing of society. Like that Kylie Minogue song is pretty big in the gay community, apparently.
Well, why would you-
Flowers.
Padam,
Flowers. The song
padam,
Flowers.
padam.
God will buy you the flowers.
sure.
Da, 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 da,
That's
da,
not like
da.
a hit.
Let's
That's
see
not
how
like
many.
a hit.
Let's
It's
see how
not
many
like a-
plays
it's
the
not like-
video. I mean, she's really
It's
scantily
not like
clad.
Psy.
Once again, scantily clad.
Yeah, it's like
It's not like
That's okay if she
was
wants to
it?
do that.
It's
See-
not like
see how many hits, see how many
Psy. What was that Psy song called back?
Oh, Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Yeah, it's not like that was
It's
huge.
also interesting. Look at the
widescreen,
aspect ratio of
yeah.
this.
18 million. That's nothing for a Miley video. It's
No,
nothing.
what are you
that's
talking about?
subscribers.
653 million
Those are
subscribers.
subscribers.
It's not a billion.
It's not a billion.
So what? That is.
Look up that Goche song and the Psy song. Granted,
yeah,
they've
but
been
it's
out for a
around,
while longer.
forever.
That's been out for aeons.
Look.
Well, why don't you just
say
look up
aeons?
biggest?
You pronounce
why
it
don't you
aeons?
just Max? Why don't you just
Instead
look
of
up
eons?
Yeah.
biggest hit
Yeah,
songs
well,
of
you can spell
2023?
it-
Yeah,
you can spell
I
it
know.
AEONS
No, yeah.
and
Max, biggest hit songs of 2023. What were they, guys? Who knows? At
Call in live and let us know what your opinion is.
You know, we were doing this thing called.
Wow.
Oh, wasn't I right? Look at that. The top. This is according to Google. Oh, Spotify. The top song of the year for Spotify. Miley Cyrus's record-breaking "Flowers."
All right.
Huh? Look
Oh,
at that, Max.
that
that
is-
song as it
Max
was.
is in the
that
know of
song
the
as
popular
it was.
music these days.
How does as it was go?
As it was. It's hard to sing actually, but
And as it was, which is another one of these. Speaking of music theory wise, they're the same kind of chord change.
6521.
yeah.
6251.
Well,
Yeah, something
that
like
song
that.
is actually not bad though. As it was.
How does it go?
It sounds a little 80s.
You know what?
sounding,
I'm seeing
actually.
Kill Bill by SZA is number 2. Don't like SZA.
I don't know what that is.
She's a like I don't know.
Every time I hear her
R&B
name, I
singer?
keep thinking of the
Oh.
Wu-Tang Clan because I'm like,
You know what's
you can't do a Z.
You know what was
That's
kind
just
of a-
copping
Yeah,
them.
well, do you know where they come? Their lettering, the RZA and Jizza comes from. Like it's like Rula Zigzag Zigala. That's what it stands. Zigzag Zig is a letter in the
What's that?
what do you call it? What is the Nation of Islam?
Oh, really?
Nation of Islam. Can you type Nation of Islam alphabet? Or maybe it's the 5%. Anyway, alphabet.
Are they Muslim?
They are, I believe. 5% Nation. Okay, 5% Nation. Where's the alphabet? Okay. Anyway. Okay. So RZA is... So the first letter in this alphabet is 1, and that's Allah. So So, are you guys following? Kind of. So, all right. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. This is
Okay.
important.
Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be edited out.
Talk amongst yourselves. Why isn't it working? Why can't I?
Okay. Anyway,
This is
what
important.
were we talking about? Top songs of 2023. There's also that Barbie song, the song by Dua Lipa from Barbie.
That song was so annoying.
Was
But
that disco song? I think it's not bad. It's pretty
Was
catchy.
that
actually.
the one that sample or like?
that was in the
interprets-
beginning. In
Oh,
the
that's in the
beginning.
beginning.
I thought that was
I
pretty
like
catchy.
the one at the end that like samples the Barbie girl song. I don't know. It's like,
wait, did you watch
it's
the
like-
movie?
I did.
What did you think?
Overrated, but like solid and like, hey, sends a good message. So why not? And like looked amazing. I loved
The production design was
The
good.
production design
That
was
was
cool,
nice.
yeah.
But
Okay, so-
you did think but you didn't quite think it was as bad as we thought it was.
No, I wasn't like infuriated by it, but like
You did think it was overrated,
Definitely highly overrated. Okay, but I get why it was popular because it's like the moment and everything it says message wise and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so in this alphabet, this 5%ers alphabet, which at least RZA and Jizza and a handful of others in Wu-Tang are adherents to this religion. Each number or each letter has its own, I don't know, word associated with it. So RZA is, for whatever reason, Bobby Digital's his letters, ruler, zigzag zig, Allah. So the letter R means ruler. I don't know. This is like all I know about it. So
All right,
Jizza is the god, zigzag zig Allah, and so SZA must
Is
mean
savior.
self or savior. Yeah.
I wonder
Anyway,
if she's Muslim too.
I wonder, or
Or
if
if she
she's
follows
just-
this.
Yeah.
Okay, well now you know the rest of the story.
So
That's enough. That's more topics than just Taylor Swift. So that's
but
Sure.
you know that's interesting
Well, that's
though.
interesting. We kind of included what is, yes, ostensibly a
But
Christian
what
holiday.
was
but
interesting,
not really.
though-
I mean, whatever. But then we went into the Muslim area.
But you know
Islam
what?
area.
What's interesting just now is and maybe this
Not really.
has
It's a
something to say.
pagan thing, really.
Maybe this has something to say about our ages, but we could not readily identify what the most popular songs of the year were. You know,
I did.
he did.
after a
He
while.
did on the nose.
you
I
called her
called the
Hannah
note.
Montana at first.
I know, but
Okay,
I just
well, yeah,
that
it
was
wasn't a
no that
perfect- it wasn't perfect
but it has nothing to do
execution,
with
but
that.
he got
That was just a maybe that is showing my age in that I'm just like. What it's like, just somebody that's hugely popular. I'm just like, what is their name?
Admittedly,
right now? You know, that happens
admittely,
sometimes. You know?
I'm
Happens with
like
friends
that with
sometimes.
any name.
Happens
Admittedly,
with
for
friends
somebody
sometimes.
who-
Like, what the
who-
hell is this person's name?
Admittedly, for
Yeah.
somebody who claims to be in the know, I don't know the song that you mentioned, Max.
I don't claim to be in the
Flowers.
know, so
I don't
I'm-
know what that.
I'm fine.
I don't know what that song.
I know.
is.
Well,
the song.
also-
I hear it at the gym. That's the thing. It's like if I didn't go to the gym, I don't know how many of these songs I would even.
Hey, also sometimes
hear.
I'll watch these Rick Beato videos. He's a well-trained musician that he's kind of in his 60s, I think, something like that.
He has
but
a YouTube popular YouTube channel.
Popular YouTube channel where he'll interview a lot of
Famous musicians.
famous musicians.
He'll break down a lot
and
of
he'll break
songs.
down a lot of songs. The
Oh,
theory
is he
behind
on the
it.
radio for? Is he British?
No,
okay.
he's not.
All right.
But he went over like the top songs at that time when he was going over it on
cool.
Spotify or something like that.
Nice.
And one of them, he was like saying, I think the title of the video was like "Why Popular Music Today Is Not as Good,"
Oh, I think
and then
I've heard
or something like that. And he
yeah.
went and he went
The
down.
titles
he
are
was like,
usually to just catch people's eyes
it's just
and
catch people's
get
eyes,
them
but
to
he was
click.
like
They're
listening to
clickbait,
each.
you know.
He's listening to a snippet of each song and saying, or no, he's listening to the whole thing, but for
But
the
it
video,
has
he was.
something to do with the range of the wavelengths, even, right? On
Well,
like a
no, he
molecular-
was.
Or was there?
Let me just say, he was going through each song. He's like, this isn't even really a melody. He's like, they almost had a chance to make it a good melody,
Yeah.
but then he came upon Flowers. He's like, okay, now this is a solid melody. This is this is a pop song, and makes sense why this is a hit. Like but that was like one in the 10 he was going over that mostly didn't.
It's also
thought that
interesting, like
really did,
the chord progression of that Flowers song is exactly the same as Ace of Base's "It's a Beautiful Life." It's a beautiful.
Well, I didn't know that
life.
was Ace of Base. Actually,
I'm pretty sure it is. All I want is to be beside you.
Are you sure that's Ace of Base?
Oh,
It's
I think so.
A Beautiful Life. Is that what it's called?
I think one.
It's a
probably
beautiful life. I mean, obviously,
Song.
It is Ace of Base.
Ace of Base. They had 3 solid hits.
I saw the sign.
I saw the sign
and then All That She Wants.
All that she wants.
Oh, you know what? There might
is
be a
another
fourth.
baby.
Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah.
Of those Swedish bands at the time, I preferred the Cardigans.
the Cardigans.
Oh, I didn't know the Cardigans were Swedish.
Oh yeah.
Oh
very
yeah,
Swedish.
yeah. I mean, couldn't you tell by the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, beautiful woman that's the head of the
I
band?
ever saw like I don't think I watched the videos.
The Love Fool. Well, I've seen.
Love Fool is such a good song.
It is. I genuinely think it's a great song.
It's a great song.
Catchy. It makes you feel good.
It's a great song.
It's got kind of a funk kind
But
of thing.
here's
going,
the
too,
real
like,
thing. Nickon is they've got some other good songs too. The Cardigans, if you delve into their catalog.
I actually have, and I have discovered a handful of good songs in their catalog. I don't know why this made me think of this song, but who sings Funky Town?
Oh, that's a
Lips
Lips Inc. Lips Inc.
Lips Inc.
And it's spelled Lipps, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh.
Lips Inc.
Oh, how innovative.
You know what's funny is until recently, and I had to tell my older brother this, he thought that, you know how there's 2 sections of that song?
Oh, I thought you were going to say he thought it was lip sing and not lip sync.
No, you know how there's 2 sections of that
Oh,
song?
it
Now
is
some
Lips
people-
Inc. Lips Inc. Lip sync.
Well-
Maybe that's why. I didn't even
Well,
think
yeah,
about
yeah,
that,
yeah,
actually.
yeah,
no,
but-
I just
but-
got that. I think maybe I'm...
Have you ever heard, going back to Grammar
Well,
Corner,
hold on, I
piece-
haven't. Oh, okay.
going back to Grammar Corner, have you heard people try to say lip sync, but they think it's lip sing?
I think you can say both.
No, come on.
No.
Okay, all right, I'm trying to give him the
No,
No,
I think that's like
no.
that's lip sync is something I thought when I was like 7, I think, or something, and I
Yeah,
realized
for
it's
like
lip
a
sync.
week,
For like a
maybe.
week.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's obvious that you're trying to sync up your anyway.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, but here's you know what's funny is our older brother until recently I had to tell him.
Well,
that
I
he
understand
thought
lip
that-
sync. I get it. It's
I
like
get
you're
why
just
people think it's that, but
Can
it's
I
not
get
correct.
something out of here? He thought the da 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 da, and then won't you take me to Funky Town? He thought those were 2 different songs.
Wow, that's I get it.
He's like, wait, but who sings this? I'm like, it's the same song.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's
it's a good song.
good for them for like putting 2.
they basically
really
have 2
catchy,
songs in there. Yeah.
really catchy
Talk
melodies.
about,
I guess.
talk
in one
about
song.
moving.
Right.
Yeah, it does go back and forth between 2 different songs, basically.
Well, you
But it
know,
works.
a lot of
Has a
songs
lot of
do
great
that.
songs,
yeah,
too.
a
It's
lot
kind of
of
like
songs.
Franz Ferdinand, Take Me Out.
Yeah,
the
yeah, exactly.
Intro part of that.
Yeah.
Waiting for you. Like even when that came out, that was that was huge.
It was huge. It was
Although
ubiquitous.
we were sort of in that age group that would be ping. That would be man, I can't even talk. That would be played
You're
a
doing
lot,
great.
right?
It's
Yeah.
also on Guitar Hero, so
It's also just on the radio. Anyway,
But
I'm
that
losing,
was
I'm
when I
losing
was like-
steam, guys.
I'm losing steam here. I think we've
All right, guys. I think we've had a good.
I think we've talked a
we've
lot about
talked
a
a lot
lot.
about a lot of things.
a lot. Most of it Taylor Swift, which I'm okay with actually. She's really grown on me now that all these people hate on her. I think
Wait,
I
who's
like her.
hating on her, Nikki?
She's
No,
time.
I think-
she's Time Person of the Year.
I think because
it'll
so many
always be
people-
Time Magazine to me.
I think because so many people are outraged by her being Time Person of the
Okay,
Year.
so that is interesting to just note, I guess, as we're closing here, is that there are people outraged by that, but I don't think anyone would have been outraged, like back in the day, if you saw that the Beatles were Times, people of the year, or Michael Jackson, because they felt maybe there was more desert.
Well, I think they're more outraged because there's so much going on in the world right
Yeah,
now,
right.
that for it to okay, I get she speaks to people and she's selling out arenas and she's
Sure.
like helping the global economy by whatever. But you can't think of a more important.
it could be
person
like
than
it could be
Taylor
like Netanyahu
Swift.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Time Person of the Year doesn't mean they're
mean it's-
always
Yeah,
good.
either. Yeah,
Trump
yeah,
was
exactly.
the Time Person of the Year. a few years
Right,
ago.
that is interesting. Yes, you're right. Actually,
you would think
yeah.
that
that
it
is
would,
weird.
It would
yeah.
be
Yeah.
something like
Or
that.
that's part of the outrage.
Or what's his face? Ukrainian president.
Volodymyr Zelensky. I think.
Zelensky,
I think.
Well, I think that didn't that start last year though. So
And
that-
I'm sure. And
Still,
I'm sure.
they're still going through a war right
But
now.
I'm sure part of the reason that they chose Taylor Swift is because they want to be uplifting and
Sure.
Give people a break from all the terrible.
That's
stuff.
Actually,
true.
Hitler
There's-
was a Time Person of the Year at one point.
Oh, I have no doubt. Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah, that's true. But I think maybe some people are outraged by it because it doesn't. Because Taylor's again, it's like Taylor
they don't
Swift
get
doesn't
it.
speak to
Because
them.
they don't get it. Yeah, like us. But with that said, I'm actually going to give her a real honest chance now. I really am.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Like,
I'm going to like actually listen
Listen
to
to
her
her
music
at the gym.
because I listened to the album. That was my assignment. But as
Did
I
you
told
actually end up listening to
as
the
I
whole
told
album?
you, it was like a very passive listening.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it was-
right. That's right.
So I'm going to actually give her a real chance now.
Hey,
Well,
guys.
I intend to do that with other, not just her, but also, at one point I had a goal. I was trying to do the, there's this book called 1001 Best, 1001 Best Album, or sorry, 1001 Albums You Must Listen to Before You Die.
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna try to do it. Let's do it.
I love it.
And
How many hours is that? Do you know?
It's a lot. I mean, I
I
couldn't
would say
barely
the
get
average
through.
album is
I could
probably 40 to 45 minutes
I
long,
could barely
right?
get through like one actually because I'm like, you have to. I was like active listening. I wanted to actively listen to it.
1,001.
That's a
albums?
lot.
That's a lot of albums.
There's some albums that I would actively listen to the whole thing all
course,
the way
I've
through
listened
every
to
time
some
I
of
would
them
listen
already.
to
Of
it.
course, yeah.
Joanna Newsom is one of those people that I would be like, oh, I'm putting on East. I'm going to listen to the whole album now. There's,
No, yeah.
Really?
I prefer listening to entire albums, even if it's like, anyway.
Anyway, hey guys,
Anyway.
it's been a great year. Well, I don't know, it's not been a great year, but there's some good, there's been some bad, been some.
Well, hey, we got. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
It's been a year.
It's been a
It
year.
is-
A
you
year
cannot
in the
deny
life.
that it's been a year. A year has
And
passed.
another year has passed, and we hope you guys have enjoyed Splitting Hairs this year and continue to enjoy it.
And we hope you've enjoyed Splitting Hairs for 100 episodes now. If you haven't listened to the past episode, our whole catalog is there wherever you listen to podcasts.
You just say if you haven't listened to the past episode, you didn't say the S at the end.
Well, which episode am I talking about?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you for
That's for you
tuning
to
in.
find out,
Oh,
audience
by the
at
way,
home.
if you haven't already done so, I should have done this at the beginning. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube and follow us and like us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us
And
on.
rate
Please like us.
and review.
Rate and review. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Splitting Hairs with Max, Nicky, and Nickon. Take it easy.